TV reels that I want to pitch. And I'm also included us as a matter of fact too. So I gave them 3 different ideas.
Sin,
Don't
you were
tell me.
just
Anything scripted
echoing.
or all? Oh, is
No,
anything?
all reality. All 3 are reality.
Listen, this
Does
yawning is
somebody
already
have their
starting, y'all.
headphones out?
No, it's
What
gone
you
away
mean?
now, but I heard it a few minutes
Oh,
ago.
I just heard it too. I hear it a little bit
Yes.
still.
So
I have
Sean,
Um,
a I have headphones. What's wrong?
what's the
no,
matter,
Diva
Cindy?
B was hearing an echo, and I
Do
was
you
hearing
still
it
hear it,
too.
babe?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
It's the
Hey
same
y'all.
ones I have every
We
week.
live. I hope y'all know that. I just was wanting to
Oh
say
yeah, I just assume
Well,
that at eight
hey.
o'clock it goes live, and that's we are where we are.
yeah. I mean, I really want to even though I talk to y'all every day, like I really don't know how did your Thanksgiving go? Diva B, that turkey was so pretty. I wouldn't want to cut it.
Honey, and that turkey meat fell off the
It
bone.
looked like
It
it
looked
did.
like it
I
did.
will forever brine a turkey when I have to make it. So I made a maple brown sugar brine
You.
Aw.
that actually it rested for 12 hours in the fridge.
Woo.
And then I took it out and I did a rub down. I did a herb rub down.
Yeah.
Mm.
The turkey got to rub
And
But you
down.
got to move like that when you.
Yeah.
honey, look
Rip,
at that
rip,
rub
rip,
down. Look at
rip,
that rub
rip,
down. Okay. Oh, you
rip.
can't see it. But
So
yeah, and then we had so much food. We had potatoes and potatoes and potatoes and yams and cans and bands and green beans
You
and
you
turnip
better.
name
greens and
it.
you
You
know,
name it.
yeah, you name it, girl. I've been singing
Was that
that song
TK?
all day,
Yes, boo. I've been
But that's the
practicing.
second time you don't hit a note, friend. You been
I've been practicing.
practicing.
I've been
every day.
practicing. Cindy, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was very low key. The food was delicious. It was well spent. Nice rest time before the whirlwind of the holiday season and work starts picking up. So I'm very excited that it was chill. I'm happy that it was really chill.
Good.
What about you,
Oh,
TK?
I'm good. We stayed here locally. The good thing is that it was not at my house. Usually we are hosting Thanksgiving, but we actually went to my brother-in-law's house and it felt good just to show up with a dish and leave.
What you say?
What Shonda? So I mean, you went on Facebook telling everybody about this peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So what did you have for
Oh, how did it
Thanksgiving?
go?
Well, God was good to me. My husband
Oh
got off
Okay,
work.
all
God. Oh
right. All
God.
He
right
got
now.
off work and he actually went to the store the day before. He told me the day before that he's gonna get off work early and come home and cook. So he did just that. So I didn't eat until like 6 o'clock. I sat there all day long, hungry,
Oh,
and I waited till 6 o'clock before I
She
ate.
had to
But I
get
was
that.
doing,
She
but
had
I
to
was
get
doing
that
Gigi's.
victim's jab.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
She's
was
like, you know,
doing
I did
Gigi's
sit
hair
here
all day.
hungry, so
I had to take Gigi's hair out, wash her hair, and redo her hair all
oh,
day.
that's
So
a
that,
vibe. That's a work.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
I have to
she's as
say
busy as
though,
me. So
the one experience that I learned, and let me tell you, for the mothers and the fathers and the husbands and the wives that are
Mm,
watching us, okay, which I want to get some likes and some hearts, please. But
yes.
growing up as a child, we never really understand the extent it takes to host an event like that
Yeah.
because we're busy with playing with our friends and the new toys and the whole nine. And honey, I ain't gonna lie, all we did all day at my house was cook turkey and watch movies. And
Yes.
at 10 o'clock, that coma was so bad, my eyes were like this. I couldn't even literally keep my eyes open. My feet hurt. They were so swollen because I stood on them all day. So
Yeah.
baby, I don't
if
know
we
how
have
y'all
some
do it.
children that listen or watch, please give your mom and dad a hug because you don't understand
It,
the
Listen,
oomph that goes into making that whole day.
I
absolutely.
had
It's
some
tiring.
people to order banana pudding, so I was in the kitchen making. I had like 5 or 6 orders of banana pudding, so I was
Wait,
doing that.
do you
Wait,
make
so she
banana
make
pudding?
banana pudding?
Okay.
Yes, I do. I didn't advertise because I didn't want to do it this year, and I promised at one time I got 4 texts. You making banana pudding this year? You making desserts? I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Then
So
I
do
told one
they
person I'll do it, and someone else asked.
are those orders or are those Shonda could you?
There were both because it happened like the day before.
Hell no.
I know, and
Respectfully.
I agreed to do one, and then I don't know. Joy said, "Why did you just say no if you were
Your
tired?"
nose gotta
But I
get
did it.
stronger.
But what's
Yeah.
so funny? My son came down. He said, "What you doing?" I am not cooking, sir. I'm doing banana pudding. I'm going to sit down. But the way he looked, like, Mom, what you doing? Like, why you in the kitchen? They so rude.
Ooh, they don't think you could cook, Shonda?
No,
We don't
not
either.
not.
So
Hey, Shonda.
yeah.
Hilarious.
I was dying laughing.
I want to answer Una's question
What
because
she say?
Una in Ireland, of course, they don't have Thanksgiving because that's a American tradition. So she said, "What's everything that
Right.
goes into a Thanksgiving dinner?" Well, Una, everything goes into a Thanksgiving dinner: the pot, the pan, the potatoes, and the potatoes, and the potatoes,
Onions,
and the onions, and
salt
You
and pepper.
name it.
salt and pepper. So Una, we celebrate with a turkey, and then it's just whatever sides that you want. I've gone to people. Here's a question:
Yeah.
do you believe in mac and cheese at Thanksgiving?
I was the one that made
Yeah.
the mac and cheese this year. So yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
ha-
we actually
it
didn't
has to
have
be on
that
the
this
menu.
year. We actually didn't
Yeah.
have that this year. We didn't even have a turkey this year.
Ooh, what kind of Thanksgiving
Yeah, it
you
was a
had?
lean. It was a lean Thanksgiving. We had
You had a
salmon.
vegan. You had a
Yeah,
vegan
You had
Thanksgiving.
salmon.
we had
Interesting.
salmon. Yeah,
But
That's
we
it was
never
interesting.
have. We
light.
rarely have
We didn't have a
turkey.
ton of
We
leftovers. It was gone
yeah.
by, I mean, probably morning of day 3.
Oh,
Oh
shoot.
wow.
I
Yeah,
cook
we
salmon every
rarely
week.
have turkey. We had curry chicken. We either
Ooh,
have
curry
curry
Ooh,
chicken
chicken,
or
but you
jerk
know that's
chicken.
gonna get, you know.
Rice and peas, mac and cheese, collard greens.
yes,
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
We
Caribbean.
don't
see,
eat turkey
we
like
didn't
that.
have all that.
Ham.
I had stuffing, macaroni salad, green bean casserole.
No.
And Alicia Brown says, yes, vegan Thanksgiving. Honey, I had the girl at the gym that I go to, she
I'm
said she had
hungry.
the girl at the gym said she had a vegan turkey. I
Now
Where do
told
you
her, I was
you
like,
have a
even
vegan
get
she
vegan
said a
turkey.
turkey?
vegan turkey. I said, what was that? A cauliflower shaped like a turkey? Because girl, how do you have a vegan
That's
turkey?
smart.
Absolutely.
That's smart, Diva B.
Yes.
Okay. And
Well, you
listen,
know what, everybody?
vegan,
It's time for
it's time.
another Monday. It is the last Monday of November. And let's not forget, this is still TK-vember. Oh my God.
Lord.
I started the month and I ended the month. Like, was this month just for me? Like, I just want to
Is
know.
that
I'm
5
getting Thanksgiving
Thursdays?
eyes again.
She's
Is that
Oh
5
my
Thursdays?
God.
Oh wow.
she's so
November has
cute.
my name all over it. I think we should just name it TK-vember. But
Of course.
everybody, welcome to another great episode of Talk Miami podcast and talk show. I'm your girl TK Owens, and I have the pleasure of being your host. And I look at her yawning
I'm
already. Y'all,
sorry.
now wait a
Ooh, it's
minute.
8 minutes in.
It's 8 minutes
She's
in.
tired. She made banana pudding.
Thank you.
Let me wake her up. So I'm gonna just pass
I'm
it to
so
you,
tired.
Dr. Shonda. Can you let everyone know? Introduce yourself, please.
Good evening. I am what's my name? Dr. Shonda Roberts.
Mm.
I am tired, y'all. We drove from North Carolina and back in like 2 days, and I am exhausted. But I am going to try to be alert and I'm excited to be here, but I'm just tired.
Do
So
you drive
welcome back. I
the way?
drove for like 5 hours going, but I did not drive coming back. I worked. I took my laptop and I was working in the car.
Ooh. You ain't getting
Yep.
no sleep today? I'm just saying.
I did not, and I should
Oh,
have, but I didn't.
yes. Okay.
I
Man,
have a
you
couple of
want to.
big orders I got to do. So
This is what happens when you work for yourself.
Yes. So
listen,
true.
yep.
So who are you passing it to?
Oh,
Is
I'm
your car?
sorry. I'm passing it to the diva of the group, Diva B.
Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Diva B.
Hey, boo.
I'm tired too.
Hey, boo.
That's gonna be on my tombstone, y'all. It's gonna say tired of being tired. So yeah, don't have much to say. I'm still full from Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I'm gonna pass it that way.
You still ain't get it right
I
yet.
know. That was supposed to be down below. Y'all weren't supposed to see that part.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Cindy Winters here, and I am obviously reporting from a different location. I'm back in New York.
He is
reporting.
international.
Yes, I'm all over the place, but I'm always here with you here at Talk Miami whenever I can be. Uh, I am wearing my glasses today and no makeup because I took it upon myself to be brave and do my own hair. And one of these little hairs snapped and rat tail my eyeball. So we're dealing with it. It's not an
It's
accident that I
natural
would
beauty,
ever
honey.
foresee.
You
This
don't
is
need
actually
makeup.
unnatural. I was creating unnatural beauty, and now we are here.
Yeah,
And
you still
thanks, Diva
cute.
V, for making me feel good.
You
I'm gonna
still
pass it
cute.
back up
Yeah,
to
you still
T to
cute.
the K.
She's
Just make
Thanks,
sure.
friend.
Just make sure your hair don't hit none of us during the podcast.
Whoops.
Flip. Well, thank you, everybody. We are looking forward to a great show. We have some amazing topics. And of course, we have Diva B gonna dish his dirt. Cindy's always doing her spotlight. And then we always go to the corner with Dr. Hopefully, she'll still be up by then. But we always gonna go to the corner with Dr. Shonda. But before we get into all of that, of course, let's talk about our topics. Let's get into topic number one. And let me just give a disclaimer. So this is a very sensitive topic because one thing you don't do is tell somebody how to raise their kids. But when you have your own platform, we dare to have uncomfortable conversations. So topic number one, to spank or not to spank. So does physical punishment help us or does it hurt us? And before I give you all individual questions, I really just want to hear from all of you. Do you really think that it has helped you or did it hurt you? And if you have, Shonda, you're a mother, do you discipline and spank your kids? So I would love to hear from you first, Dr. Shonda. Does it help us or hurt us?
I'm sorry. I had to. First of all, let me just let you know I'm going to be on mute sometimes because I've been in the cold, 30-degree weather. I'm sniffling. And I don't want to be sniffling through the show. Okay, so did it hurt or help me? I'm trying to remember. My mom. Oh, she on here, honey. I'm gonna tell my mama business. I got spankings or I got whoop. I don't know. I got disciplined physically. It wasn't all the time. My mom worked a lot. So I can't even think back, but I know there was a time when she was looking for me because I did something. I went and hid under the bed for like hours, and she called the police because they didn't know where I was. They thought I had ran away, and they found me under the bed. I got spanked that day. I got whooped that day because
Oh,
they
you
know where I
deserve
was.
that.
Right. So I can't remember a whole lot of whooping or spankings, but I can't say if it helped me or hurt me. I don't know because I was a child that did what she wanted to do all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Regardless of spanking or not, I would get mad because I got a spanking and still do whatever. And you know what I mean? Or it would teach me a lesson and I won't do it again. It didn't stop me. I still did what I want to do. I still ran the streets. I still came home and I wanted to come home. So I can't necessarily say if it helped or not. I learned a lot of lessons, not listening and not doing what she wanted me to do. But as a parent, um, I tried my best not to spank them. It took me a couple or whoop them. It took me a couple of sit your behind down before I do something to
Absolutely.
you, before I
That
did
part.
something to you. Some
So you
took
had some
heed and
warnings.
some didn't. Some would try your gangster, and you got to take off your earrings and get them in the corner and run up on them like you would somebody in the street because they would try you. You know, it just depends on which child you're talking to. I raised 5 at one time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we had a blended family. I know that's part of your next topic, but we had a blended family. So I didn't
Right.
give birth to all of them. And I will talk about
Right.
that when you bring that part up. But yeah, in my household, and as you said earlier, George was not the one to spank them because he felt he would hurt them if he
Yeah.
did.
That
So
was my dad.
he would warn them like, listen, if I get on that behind, I'm gonna get on that behind. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna advise you to do A, B, and C. They would try me, but even though they know I'm gonna be the one to spank, they still would try me, but they wouldn't try him.
Right.
Don't know why. So
Diva
yeah, I did.
B. Diva B. I would
Oh no,
love.
ask Cindy first, cause honey, I'm gonna be long-winded.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna be long-winded.
Cindy, I do have a question for you. Let's talk, statistics. There is a psychology professor from University of Michigan says that people get frustrated and hit their kids. and maybe they don't see that there are other options. Do you believe that there are other options than being physical when disciplining children?
Putting them outside, is that not
Wait a
an option?
minute.
Tie him to the tree.
So you believe in spanking?
I don't know if I believe in spanking because I don't have children and I haven't had my patience tested to that point. When I was a nanny, I thought that all kids got spanked. I didn't know because I grew up in a butt spanking house.
Mhm.
But I quickly learned that not everybody got spanked. And I don't know if it's something. It depends on the child. Like each kid will need something different to
Right.
get them to pay attention or get them to calm down. Like maybe it's a situation where it's a life threatening. So like the quickest thing is nonverbal and you just yank them
Yeah.
to get them to a place,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Listen, Linda would just give me a look. You give me a look and I knew to act right.
Are we going to tell that story? We're going to
Yeah,
tell
we're
that
gonna.
story?
Hey, mama, I know she watching. Mama would give you a look, and you know to stop whatever it is that you were doing.
I can't
Am I
even
the
feel
do
only
the
like-
one?
look. No, I
I
can't
feel
even
like
do the
Linda
look. My
Pratt-
mom used to do this thing with the eye. Let me take this off. Girl, if that eye went like this,
Yes, you
honey,
knew.
You
My
knew.
mother
You knew it
has
was
a
coming.
tone of voice that you just don't want to hear mad.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
And I think my sister and I grew up afraid of her voice.
yes.
It was such a strong tone, which
Mhm.
I love now because it's such a strong, brassy female voice. But the closest voice I could name was like Harriet from Family Matters
Okay.
Oh yeah.
or Tashina
Yes,
Arnold
yes.
from
Yep,
Always
Everybody
yep,
Loves Chris.
raspy.
yep.
Like, I'm like, Mommy, why are you always mad? She's like, because y'all pissed me off. You know, it's kind of
Yep.
like that was her thing. And we just
That sound like
got
me.
together, you know. But my
Mhm.
dad would give the warning and say, cool out, relax yourself, stop going like an idiot.
Mhm.
And then if that didn't work, then you know, we got 2 slaps. But
Absolutely.
but you know, it varies. I don't
Yeah,
think that I probably deserved every whooping because like Shonda, like I did whatever I wanted
yeah. We
and then
yeah we
dealt with
did
it
some stuff to
afterwards.
deserve that, huh?
Yeah, totally. I get
Diva,
warning shots before, you know, the thing happens.
Diva B. Before I go to you, I do want to play a video of a man that actually was arrested because he spanked his son with a belt. So I want to know what's considered spanking. Is it with the hand or does a belt become abusive? Let's take a look.
An Auburn man is behind bars tonight after police say he went too far disciplining a child. And if convicted, he could face up to 6 years in prison. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Lopez.
And I'm Christina Janes. New tonight, CBS 13's Jennifer McGraw is live at the Auburn Police Department with more. Jennifer? An anonymous tip led police to a home on Snowy Owl Way where a child was allegedly whipped as a form of punishment, causing serious injuries.
The 11-year-old was struck several times by a belt by the suspect who was ultimately arrested. He's not the biological father, but does live with the child.
Police arrested 33-year-old Jose Prieto for cruel or inhumane corporal punishment. Sergeant Tucker Huey says spanking children isn't illegal, but physically harming them is.
This was a situation where it was clearly too far.
He's loved baseball since he's...
Ryan McReynolds has 2 boys and says sports has taught his kids discipline, but says spanking is okay too.
It's not dangerous. I would feel bad if I spanked him and actually hurt him, or if he had marks or something like that. I think it's more to put them in their place a little bit, maybe, just to show them that they're the child and you're the parent.
It's an issue that has long plagued parents. A recent decades-long study found spanking kids actually makes them more defiant. Sergeant Huey says times are changing and many forms of punishment could be considered too far now.
Discipline used to be handed out isn't necessarily always appropriate now, but that's also not to say that all physical punishment is a crime. It's not.
Diva B.
His problem was getting caught.
Okay.
How do you feel about this, Diva B?
Y'all got a few moments because I'm gonna talk. Okay.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
one, the problem that I had with that story for hearing it for the first time is yes, If you spank your children to the point where they are bleeding, have welts,
Of
can't
course.
sit, that's a problem. Okay, I do agree with that. It's called a spanking. It's not called abuse. Okay. Now, do I agree in spanking? Hell to the yes.
Mm.
Okay. And the reason why is it took me literally till I was 34 years old for me to realize, because I was having this conversation with Mrs. Gloria today. Okay. Because
Hey, Mama
yes,
Gloria.
Mama Gloria did discipline her children. Okay. Did she beat us where we were like it was abusive and we have bruises? No way. But we got spanked when the time called for it. And I'm going to give you a story about it, but I want to finish something first.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I feel like disciplining your children, this whole thing of studies show they become more defiant. That's because you ain't beating them right.
Wait a
Okay?
minute.
Because
Wait a minute.
honey,
Wait.
if you're using spanking to discipline in a situation where here's the story that happened to me when I was younger. I'm gonna throw it way back. I can't even remember how old I was, but we went to go pay a bill or something at a store named J. Byron's. And I'll never forget, while my aunt was paying the bill, I saw a little lipstick about this big. And I thought, oh, that would be nice for my mom. So I stole it from the store. Well, of course, when I got home thinking, oh, I'm going to give mom the little lipstick, she's going to be like, oh, you're so cute. No. I got spanked. And let me tell you, I've never stole another day in my life. Okay. Because I knew that if I stole, the consequences were that I got spanked. Now, I wish the kids nowadays were disciplined to some extent. And I'll tell you why. I have walked through Dolphin Mall. And Dolphin Mall is a big outlet mall in Miami. Okay. Since she's our international guest.
Dolphin Mall makes me, the name Dolphin Mall makes me
Dolphin Mall.
laugh for the type of buffoonery that happens in there.
Listen.
Yes, Chongaland. But anyways, so I seen kids literally 11 years old telling their mama, F you, bitch. Do you know what would have happened if I said F you to Mama Gloria? Brent would not be on this podcast and I would have no teeth. Because there was a way that you spoke to your parents growing up.
That's right.
And nowadays, these kids, what they watch, what they say, what they do, and the parents are just like, oh, they're gonna grow out of it. Once they rob the bank or murder somebody or whatever, then it's like, damn, I wish I would have disciplined when I had the time. So y'all can't ask me whether I believe in discipline or not, because I'm the heifer that'll show. I will throw my shoe at my cat if she's doing something she ain't supposed to do.
No, wait. We've seen
and people tell me, wow, your cat is so obedient and she listens because she knows she's going to get whooped. Because I don't play that. Girl, let her get near my Christmas tree. She gonna be a scarf. She gonna be a scarf.
Now, Dr. Shonda, and those listeners that may not know this, you have your own domestic violence nonprofit. So I want to go back to the stats. Many studies have shown that physical punishment, including spanking, hitting, and other means of causing pain, can lead to increased aggression, antisocial behavior, physical injury, and mental health issues. So, do you think that some of the problems that we see later on in life because of how we were disciplined as a child?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I will say that none of the spankings and whoopings that happened to me has affected me later on in life. It prepared me for, like I said, I honestly, maybe it's blockage. I don't know. I can't remember even being that child that got the spankings and the whoopings all the time. It wasn't my issue in my household. Wasn't my mom whooping on me. It was my older brother. I had sibling abuse, so that's a whole nother story. So he felt like he was the man of the house that he had to discipline us. My mom, even though it was every now, like I said, it's maybe every now and then, she didn't really whoop me or spank me unless it was something drastic. And like one time, the police brought me home. I got my behind whooped for that because I was somewhere I shouldn't have been, and the police had to bring me home. That was the type of stuff I was getting into. So I honestly, I don't know. I do know that it can cause a problem. I've seen it. I've worked with kids. I've raised my own. I've seen it happen in the households that I did with domestic violence victims. And I talk to the women all the time about leaving, and because a lot of times what women say is, I stay because I want my child to have somewhere to live. I want my kids to be home. I want,
Mhm.
but what you're doing is allowing that your child to see you be abused by their father, and also them possibly being abused in some situations. So the longer you stay, the worse it's going to be. You know what I
Right.
mean? So in that situation, you definitely need to get out, because staying because you want your child to be in a home where you think it's safe and you don't want to put them in the shelter, that's not safe for them. That's not safe. It's not healthy. And because discipline and
Mhm.
spanking is different than abuse, those are
Mm.
two different
Hmm.
things.
Right.
I've seen kids just get knocked upside the head because they spoke a word.
Right.
And those type, like I said, it depends on situation. It depends on the method. It depends on what's going on at the time.
Yeah,
Like I said, I've raised 5 kids,
agree.
and at least all of them have gotten their butt whooped at least
Yeah.
once. Some didn't need 2 and 3 times. Some got it every other day. It just depends on the child, and if some didn't care. They were like, well, whatever. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get into trouble. I'm gonna get my butt whooped, and I'm gonna go back to doing what I do. I don't think we were hard enough on the punishment,
Right.
because they felt like, I just get my butt whooped and I'm okay. You know what I mean? So it's not just the physical, the punishment, the discipline. You need to also implement correction
There
that's
you
going to
go.
A
stop the problem
lesson.
as well. Because just spanking them and whooping them, child, that stuff wear off, and then they
Right.
back to doing whatever they
Totally.
do.
They actually get immune to that.
They do. They get
Yeah.
immune to it.
Totally.
Child, I got tired. Once just go and do what you want to do. Child, I'm tired of
Right.
whooping you because you ain't gonna
And
stop.
Cindy, we both were raised by island men who didn't spank us.
Oh,
But do
my
you
dad
think?
spanked my behind.
Oh, he did. I thought you said Daddy talked to you. Well, I'm just gonna share my story. My father never spanked me, and I think I came out all right. Y'all think so? Yeah,
Mm-mm. You should have
A
You
got
little
on
him a couple
mute.
extra,
You need to
but
times.
all
go on
right.
mute.
okay.
A little
but
extra.
he actually told me, he was like,
That's why you're spoiled. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
wait a minute, I know she ain't talking about being spoiled, George.
This ain't about me. Keep going.
But he said, if I hit you, I'ma hurt you. And that devastated him to see me cry, and it devastated me to see that I hurt him. And so I did change my behavior, but he chose to use communication. And Diva B, I saw that your brother Ryan commented that he doesn't believe in spanking and that
He's
there are
gonna
other
spank the
That's
options
trigger.
because
out
Ryan got
there.
spanked all the time. No, I'm just
Ooh,
kidding. I'm just
Ryan.
kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
didn't
I'm
say
just
it,
kidding.
Ryan.
Ooh.
Actually, to be honest, can I say something? When
Yeah.
you're saying your dad was in communication, so there was a point in our lives, both me and my brother, now we're only 3 years apart,
Mhm.
where we were spanked, we were grounded, and there were other forms of discipline. Okay,
Mhm.
now hear me out.
Mhm.
My mom never beat me with a twitch. She never hit me with an iron hanger. She never, went outside to get a 2x4. None of that abusive stuff, right?
Mhm.
Then there was a point in our life where we went from being spanked and grounded to my mother would make us sit in the living room on the couch and listen to her literally go off for hours and hours. And, I like the open communication thing too.
Yeah.
And I'm only telling you this because she texted me that part. So she was like, I used to love sitting you two on the couch and torturing you with just going on and on. Honey, my mama could have sat us on the couch and we would tell our friends, oh, we'll be out in 15 minutes, honey. 3 hours later, we still were not out.
Right.
And my mom was talking and talking and talking. And, growing up, the words meant more than spanking because, like Shonda said, when you get to that certain age, a spank, honey,
I'm
when
gonna
my
say you
mom
can't
got to a
spank
certain
13 year
age, a
old, 14
spanking
year
was
old.
like, oh, you gonna spank me? Oh, okay.
Right.
We gonna get
Right.
spanked, but I didn't want to hear the talk.
Right.
So if it was,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna sit for 3 hours, I had
Yeah.
movies to go to and boys to attend to, and I didn't have time for a conversation.
Right.
You know, 'cause-
Jameson made a very valid point. He said, fathers don't usually like hitting their daughters. And I
right.
think I really was a sore spot
Mm.
for my dad. But my mama, Linda Pratt, I know you watching. That was my disciplinary. She will spank my behind, and to this day, I'm still scared of that woman. Hey, mama, I'm okay. Okay.
I've had to jack
Love
my
you.
boys up a couple of times now because them boys think they could try you. And I got one that's 6'4".
Mm.
Come here, come here, come down here.
Come
Yeah.
down
No.
here.
Come talk to the peoples.
So
Come
Come talk to the
down
people.
here.
I've done a
level.
Gloria, thing with him recently. He's 19. I've had to sit him down and lecture him for about a good hour.
Right.
I was gonna say while DVB was talking, you can't spank 13, 16, 17-year-olds
Right.
Yeah.
because after a while they want to draw back up at you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They want to
Yeah.
talk back, and I don't know if that stems from not putting your foot down when they were younger. Sometimes as parents, we think them talking back is cute. You need to nip that in the bud immediately.
And I'm not your
because
friend.
I'm not, because they're gonna keep doing it as they get older.
Mhm.
All
Right.
that I don't care. Giving them lips because we're not doing that. Because
Yeah.
you have to, because when they get older, they start to think that it's cute, and you can't start disciplining them, whether it's physical, verbal, or whatever. You can't start disciplining them at 13. Them the ones
Right.
going to the schoolhouse and cussing the teacher out. I wish I had the video about the young girl that was in her classroom cussing her teacher out, and
Yes.
they called her mama, cussing her mom out to tell her how she cussed the teacher out.
Yeah.
Then got mad at her mom because the mama won't take her side. But
This was the white girl, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, I saw that
you can-
video too.
But you
Mhm.
can tell that her mom condoned it before because
Yeah.
she wouldn't be that
Yeah.
comfortable. I am 45. And when I cuss around mama now, I slip. Like, oh, sorry, mom. Sorry,
Yeah,
mom.
and I say sorry to my mom
Mhm.
too.
Because
Mhm.
sometimes in conversation you get used to, just saying little words here and there.
Yeah.
I can check myself now. So
Right.
she was too comfortable in calling her mom and saying this F and B such and such and such
Cussing,
in the
yeah.
classroom.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Right.
Sometimes, I don't know, honey, because I think
I
Lord is
feel
sparing
it.
my life.
Well, we could definitely talk about this subject all night, but of course, this show has to go on. Like I said, it becomes very sensitive because you cannot tell somebody. Kids are off limit. You just don't tell someone how to discipline their children. But on this show, we will test you.
Well,
But
I'm all for beating them children. Okay, beat them,
Ab-
honey. Get a twitch.
absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Get a twitch. Get a branch.
It's the
speaking of
verbiage.
the diva, it's time for him to dish his dishes dirt. I said
Oh.
dishes dish.
You
Okay.
about to say something wrong, friend? That didn't sound right.
He's dishing the dirt. Diva B.
Well,
has dirty dishes.
Ryan actually came up with a new one that he thought was funny over the weekend. He said Diva B does the dishes.
Oh, you know what?
I was like, no,
Ryan.
he didn't.
I'm gonna hire Ryan. Ryan gonna come on.
No,
the
do
show.
not
Quick.
start with that. Do not start with that because all weekend I got from Ryan when he was going to guest host
Yes.
on the podcast.
He
And I'm
needs
like,
to.
no,
Ryan, I'm
ma'am.
gonna call
Katrina.
you. I'm gonna call you, Ryan.
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna call you.
And
Oh, I'm gonna do this
Mama Gloria.
again.
We have some
Cindy,
slots.
Cindy, sing for Diva B.
Diva B does the dishes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know if you buy a bottle of palm olive, they will send $1 to the natural wildlife so you can do your dishes, and it will send $1 to the wildlife.
Yes.
So no, it's Dove. Is it Dove?
Swear, we
It's
can't
Dawn.
make this
Dawn.
stuff up.
It's
I
Can
Dawn.
you
can't.
dish your dirt, please,
It's
sir?
Dawn. I'm doing the dishes now.
Do your dish.
So, all right. Obviously, I have to bring it up because I'm dishing the dirt. And I know I'm not the only one who saw it this week, but we do have to be a little bit more careful because, of course, dun dun dun, the Omicron variant is
Yeah.
now.
Not why it sounds so much worse. Like it's like it's out of a
It's worse.
transformer
Yeah,
movie.
it's worse than COVID. It's Omicron.
Dun,
Honey,
dun,
when
dun,
my
dun.
mom
I've
first
never
told
heard of
me,
that.
when my mom first told me the name, I thought she was talking about a Transformer movie that was coming out. I'm like, Omicron, what is that? And she's
You
like,
know
oh,
we
that's
got
the
the
new
Omicron,
variant.
right?
Okay, who got the Omicron? Shonda, they got the Omicron on the corner.
I'm Googling it because I ain't never heard of that.
Okay.
And my
I'm
throat
like,
is
when
nothing
this
to
variant
laugh
came
at.
This is
out?
because Shonda drives 20 hours to see a football game, makes banana pudding, and makes cups and shirts. So she don't ever got time to hear about anything. Shonda is kind of like my brother. If the asteroid is coming to the planet and they do not put it on ESPN, he's gonna miss it. He's gonna just die in an asteroid because if the football channel don't have it on, he don't know.
Oh,
Right? He said,
God.
do the
They got
dishes.
to give. They got to
So
give.
Shonda's the
Omicron
same
on
way.
ESPN.
if they don't post it on a UN
Y'all
bulletin
better
board
text
during
me
the
or call
game,
me if something going on.
okay? Because
Shonda, wear your mask. Just it. That's it.
just wear your mask. Obviously, right now, it's
Oh,
not something to
God.
panic about. They say it is a major concern. It is a new variant from South Africa. The travel restrictions from other countries have gone into place. How they found this variant was because I saw this on the nightly news with Lester Holt, y'all, because I love me some Lester Holt. But in South Africa, they were actually, their COVID numbers were super, super low. And then all of a sudden, there was a region of South Africa that just went from 100 cases to literally like 3,000 cases in 2 days. And they started doing the research, and they found that the Omicron variant is going around, and they don't know yet if the boosters or the vaccines will be effective against it. But the major companies are testing it out. So that is one of my dishes. The next dish, and I want to say his name right, rest in peace, because he's literally my age. Super sad that we lost a amazing designer, Virgil Abloh.
Yes.
He was 41 years old, and he died. I think it was this weekend or yesterday.
On
He passed
Sunday.
away
Yeah,
on
Sunday
Sunday. So
morning.
yesterday
Mhm.
he passed away. He had cardiac sarcoma, which we was all arguing about what it was earlier. But yeah, unfortunately, he passed away, and he leaves a legacy of fashion and just all around an amazing person for the creative arts world. So that's Diva B does the dishes. So the dishwasher's done, y'all.
The kitchen's clean.
The kitchen's clean.
The kitchen is clean with Diva B. Thank you so much. We started a whole new thing, I tell you. Ryan,
Yeah,
thank
Ryan's
you.
gonna run with that. Do the dishes now for the rest of the time.
Thank you,
Exactly.
Ryan.
Well, it comes a time when we have to change the topic. And I thought about this. One, I am in a blended family. Shonda, you're in a blended family. Cindy, I heard you say you have your stepmom. Wait, who's talking? Who was
Who's
that?
I'm
Oh,
who's
that was
so
watching?
sorry.
Who's watching Talk Miami
Ex-
on while we're
live.
doing Talk Miami?
Exactly. While we're doing Talk
I
Miami.
take accountability for my actions. It was me.
Ryan, I'm telling you, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. Got you. But I think we all can relate to this next topic in some form. So topic number 2, how do you feel about using the term step when it comes to a blended family? And the reason why I bring up this subject is because recently Gabrielle Union did an interview on another podcast. We got to find out about this podcast because we need her on ours. She need to pop up. But she said she doesn't use the step parent label, and that it was given to her by the kids' school, and she felt as though it was annoying. She said that you had to put the relationship on, I guess, the emergency contact card, and they was like, okay, well, if they have a mother, who are you? And so they made her put stepmom, and she just feels as though she doesn't use the term stepmom, and she doesn't like it, and in the family they call her mom. And so I have so many questions. So if the biological mother is involved in the kid's life, does she have the right to still have the kids call her mom? Another question that I have, and I'm just going to go ahead and Cindy, I'm going to throw this one to you. I've heard you talk about your stepmom. Did you at some point ever call her mom, although you have a biological mom? And did your parents tell you to call her mom, or did you make your own decision?
So that's a really good question. Am I on mute? No. It's a really good question. I just looked up the origin of step and what
Mm-hmm.
that even means. And it says the origin from Old English via German, the word step, spelled Steop,
Hmm.
which meant orphan.
Hmm.
So the term step parent is only by association, which evolved in modern times due to the increase in divorce.
Hmm. Thank you
So,
for that education. We're going to educate you too.
yeah. So, I have 3 moms. I
Mm.
have the mother who birthed me, the mother who raised me, and the mother who taught me about good credit.
Yes.
All right, down
And
Okay.
there now.
yes,
We need a fan
and
pop, Diva B.
yes, and she definitely instills family values for sure. But my stepmother, we didn't have the term bonus mom, in
Right.
the 80s. And when I was 3, she came into my dad's life and she came into my life. So I think the story is that I just said, "Can I call you mommy?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh. At what age was that? I'm just curious.
3.
Oh, wow.
At 3. And I just call her mommy ever since. And we spell mommy in my house MAMI, and
Mhm.
we know that that's mommy. And anytime people see mommy on Instagram, they see MAMI, they know who mommy is. And she is she's the one with the voice,
Right.
terrifying as a kid, but
Mhm.
we've gotten along pretty well after all over the years. It's a tricky situation because my mother was living, and we had a very strong personalities
Mhm.
growing up, but I cherish her because as I got older, um, her and I just became more communicative. We had a more of an open communication. She opened up in a different way, and so I opened up in a different way, and we got to learn about each other. And I actually really like her. Not only do I
Oh.
love her, like I actually have grown to be like we're really good friends now. Because even as an adult, we can. I like that my parents we're like friends because we can have conversations on a particular level, and I know they have my
Mhm.
back how friends would have your back, and also
Mm.
your parents, the people who got
Right.
you, but they'll be very real with me, like a friend would.
Yeah.
So I really I really like that sort of relationship.
Mhm.
It's awkward as I explain that I have 3 moms because all of them have strong personalities, and maybe, they are fighting for the space in my life where I'm fighting for my own space in my life.
Right.
I'm here for everyone, and I try to support all of my family members as best I can with also trying to do my own life. But, every single mother has played a very large part in who I am.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Dr. Shonda, I know that you have a blended family just like me. How did you interact with the kids? Do you call them step? How are you with their biological mother?
Who child?
Mhm.
Um, their biological mom and me now are great. It,
Mhm.
it took a whole lot of Jesus to
Ooh,
get us
Jesus.
to great. We are great. I call and check on her. Our kids are adults now. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they're living their lives, and we have to make sure that we don't have to communicate because they're adults, but I choose to, and
Mhm.
we talk, and I'll check on her every now and then to see how she's doing. I don't um we don't really talk about the kids much now. We just check on each other. But when my kids did when my I call them my children. That I've never called them my stepchildren. I've only had to, like Gabrielle
Right.
Union said, because of school,
Right.
and I had to put on because I raised two of my stepchildren, my bonus babies, and I had to put on the court papers and stuff like that who I was. So for that reason, that's why we always, anytime we use it, that'll be the only purpose. But I never told them to call me mom. They never asked to call me mom. Sean, which is my oldest, never asked George, "Can I call you dad?" And George never told him to. But because Sean heard them calling him dad, and they
Mhm.
heard Sean calling me mommy, it just happened. They just started calling me mommy, and he just started calling George dad. Because before it was George, it was George this, George that. But then when his kids came to live with us, it just became, nature for all of them to start calling us mom and dad. And
Dad.
it's always been like that. And the oldest is now 23, and our youngest, which is we have together, is 18. And we're not mommy and dad anymore. We're mom and pops. So,
Aw.
it kind of like changes as they get older. But it was actually a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
It was a lot to deal with. And I'm glad that, like I said, I just told y'all before the show, I'm glad that they're grown and they
Yeah.
can do for themselves. But a lot of things that we had to struggle with, they've even come back and to apologize. I've apologized to them because as parents, they don't come with manuals. You know what I mean? And we do
Right.
make mistakes. There's a lot of
Right.
things that we don't do right. Even as parents, we can't say, well, because I'm the mama, this is what's happened. No, we're human and we make mistakes, and as do they. So now we're at the age we can have adult conversations, as
Right.
Cindy was saying, and she does with her moms. You can have adult conversations. Now our kids can come in and say, "Mom, you know what? This is what's going on," and we could sit down and talk to them and explain to them, raw and transparent,
Yeah.
what life is about and what's going on. So I appreciate what we've been through,
Yeah.
um, to get us to where we are now. We still have some things going on, in our family that we don't, communicate with some of our kids because of it. But again, at any age, in any place in your life, you got to protect your peace.
Absolutely.
And regardless of who it is, if you're not bringing peace in my life, you're not going to be in my life.
She
I've
said what she said.
done, and I meant that. I've
Mm.
done what I needed to do, and I've done what I was supposed to do. Carry your ass on now.
Oh, as a mom or a
Peace be
stepmom.
with you.
Diva B, before I get your input on this, as you guys know, Mariah Carey and
Mm.
what's her ex-husband name who had all them kids?
Nick Cannon?
Nick
Nick
Cannon?
Nick
Cannon.
Cannon. Nick
Okay.
Cannon have all these kids, and someone asked Mariah in an interview, would her kids play with their other step brothers and sisters? Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Motivated me to really go all the way in every Christmas, every year. And I just want my kids to have the best time. And honestly, it's like a lot of it is for me.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Will any of their stepbrothers or stepsisters ever get to enjoy Christmas your way? Because it's a special way.
Is it step? I don't think it's step. It's
No?
if you're not married to the person. I don't know
Okay,
about
so-
that.
She shut that down real quick.
I
But she's-
agree.
I agree with her too. He hasn't married. And another question with Diva B, I'm gonna throw this at you. How do you feel about using the term one step and having step brothers and sisters? Do you believe kids aren't born, they didn't ask for this? So would you allow your children to still have a relationship with their other step brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if Mariah Carey wants to have Christmas and she wants to invite me, she can call me Step. She can call me Step. She can call me the kid over there.
Call you Time Step.
Yeah, Time Step, Steppity Step, whatever,
But I
because that's
think
Mariah
the
Carey.
situation is that they're blood related.
They're half.
Yeah, that's.
They're not even step. They're half brother and
But
sister.
my kids did not like that term half or step.
I don't like
No.
it
They
either. I
would
never
It
used
makes
it.
you
not.
feel less than.
And
Right.
even now,
Yeah.
I'm raising.
I
have my
use the word
godson.
bonus.
I have my godson who was 12, and I made a post, and I
Mhm.
said Elijah with his god brother. He called me. He said, "Mom, why did you put that?" I said, "Put
Mm.
what?" He said, "It's not my god brother, it's my brother." I said, "Oh, I'm so
Aw.
sorry."
Exactly.
I didn't think it, made a
Yeah.
difference, but they don't. Even now, my kids, like even their brothers and sisters from their dad's side, they don't call them step. That's their brother and that's their sister. They love each other, regardless of what's going on. They don't like that term, so the
Yeah.
kids don't like it.
Totally.
Diva B, how do you
I
feel
used to
about
tell my
it?
brother all the time he was my stepbrother, just so he felt some type of way.
Why would
Because
you do? Don't
honey,
do Ryan like that.
me and my brother, it's so funny. Me and my brother growing up, we were like this all the time. And my mom thinks that she'll tell us now, she's like, I think you and your brother just hated on each other to drive me crazy. And that's not the case. So I didn't come from a blended family, but I did have a stepmother.
Okay.
And to me, the term stepmother, I mean, it's just something that we've always used. And I really just hate nowadays that everything that we've known and grown up because of a younger generation, it has to change. It's like, we can't tell jokes. We can't be too crass.
too
We can't do
sensitive.
this. We can't say that. We can't, spank your kids. You can't call your kid, an idiot. Like, there's just so much rules and regulations. And it's like, with Gabrielle Union, when they said her stepchildren, what did she want them to say? Oh, your children. I hate to put it. I hate to break it to you. They may be your children now, but they're not your actual children.
They
You didn't
have
give
a
birth
mother.
to them. They
But
have
you
a
know
mother.
what?
But that's a
And-
real
sensitive
quick,
subject
I'll-
because Gabrielle Union didn't give birth to her new child.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know what, Cindy? When it comes to labels, everybody's having a problem with labels now. They
Yes.
don't even want genders on birth certificates. So
Yeah.
listen, it's becoming crazy. You have to put a name
You're
to
there.
something. You can't
Right.
just be walking around here willy-nilly. You need to have identification to something. The fact that's I mean, we'll talk about that probably on when I get ready to host. The fact that they don't want to put genders on birth certificate, that's crazy to me. But but her being called a stepmom for school, I get it. They need to know who you are when you come. If you put mother on there and they already have a mother, who are you? We need to put a identification
Exactly.
on who you are. That's it.
I'm not
No one's
against.
taking anything from you.
Yeah, I'm not
This is what
against
it
the
is.
term. It's like you
Yeah.
said, everybody is so label fanatic now. It's
Right.
like, if I called Shonda the cup lady, it's like, why you said that? And it's like, don't you make cups?
Right.
Like, it's like with the stepmom, you are the stepmom because you are not the real mom. And like Shonda said, if mom is Jane Doe, and then you come in and say, well, I'm the mom.
Right.
So when they go to sign the kid out, are they supposed to put, oh, mom 2 picked them up?
Right.
Right.
Well, that's a good question. So maybe we leave this question for our audience, for our viewers. What is there another term that people use, or maybe we can create a term tonight that could sort of be in substitute of step? Because as we said, the original term is to be orphaned.
Mhm.
So, what does that look like?
We call
And
her.
is it additional
That's her.
bonus,
Her.
plus mom, plus parent? What is it? What does that look like?
I think the
Well,
term
and I think-
step has gotten so much negativity too.
Well, and I
You know
also
what
think
mean?
it goes to the way the kids feel, because it's like Shonda said, when she said, your godson or whatever, the son or the daughter said, no, that's my brother or sister. Because listen, just because maybe my stepmom, and when I first had my stepmom, I had to put her in check. Because she decided that she was going to call my real mom and she was going to get saucy. And I will never forget. My mom called me at work and was like, you can't believe who just called me. Honey, I walked out of work to use the payphone to let my stepmom know,
Oh.
do not ever talk to my real mom because I will get in my car and I will go spank you. Okay? But to me, it also depends on the way the kid feels, because maybe I don't like my stepmom and I just want to call her that B.
Gary.
Or maybe I don't like my stepdad and I want to just call him Gary.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all really plays into the kids, because I mean, when you're a kid, how many weird names? Like growing up, my grandmother was little grandma and my mom and my dad's mom was big grandma. We didn't know their name. It was little grandma, big grandma, because one was small and one was big.
Right.
So I mean, like Cindy, she doesn't call her stepmom. She calls her mommy with an I.
Yeah.
Okay, like, hey, mommy, instead of mom or mommy, as mommy. But to me, she felt comfortable enough to say, you're mommy with an I. My real
Cindy, I
mommy
have
is
a
mommy
question.
with a Y,
I want to ask
So
Cindy something.
Yeah.
How did your
tired of you
mom?
interrupting me tonight, Shonda.
Oh.
I'm just
People
trying to
stay
move it along because I'm
interrupting.
sleepy and I'm
I'm just
hungry.
messing.
That's all.
She's awake. It's okay. I'm just
Okay.
No, no, no.
Hey, we better get her while she's
Give her
still
some
up.
green tea.
Listen, Shonda about to be gone. I'm trying to move it as long so I can go eat and sleep. But Cindy, how did your mom feel, or how does your mom feel by you having 2 other moms?
I wanted to ask that same
Not
question.
great.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably
I'm
not
sorry.
that great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she ever have a conversation with you about it?
Not a calm one.
Oh.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah. And that's what I'll be honest with you guys. I have a blended family. When I married Farrell, he had 2 kids and I had 2 kids. And I actually use the term bonus. But when I describe all of them, it's all my children. But whenever I like write a caption or something, I always say bonus because they have a mom. And with my kids, they have a dad. And I'll be honest with you, me and Pharaoh talked about it. Me and my ex-husband talked about it. They were to never call another person mom. They have a mom.
Mhm.
They were never to call someone else their dad. They have a dad. So we do use stepdad and stepmom here. But how I explained it, like for example, I'll share this story with you guys. You guys know I have a 9-year-old. He's so sweet, and I treat him just like he's mine. He was my bonus son. And when he was 5, Cindy, just like you, but he was 5, he said, "Can I call you mom?" And I looked at Pharaoh and we looked at each other. I didn't know what to say at that time, but I just spoke from the heart because I could understand as a mom how I will feel if someone else called someone else mom. And I said, "Baby, I'm your stepmom." I said, "But I tell you what," I said, "you have 2 moms that love you." And I said, "Do you know how special you are? You have 2 families that love you." So it's how we communicate it to him.
Well, what
Not
does he call you?
He calls me TK.
Okay.
but when I hear him talking to his other friends, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's my stepmom." He's like, you know what I mean? It's like he's
Because
so
his
proud.
stepmom's kind of cool.
He's so proud. And I just love him to death.
He
And
loves
wherever
you
I
so
go,
much.
you see him with me. Like
Yeah, he
we
Well,
are
loves
just
you so
could
much.
I
I think
give a
it's so
shout
cute how he
out?
loves you.
Can I give a
Yeah.
shout out to all of the kids that didn't have a stepmom or a stepdad,
Yeah.
but they had somebody join their family that loved them as if they were their
Yes.
own children?
Yes.
Just because they didn't
Absolutely.
marry
Yeah.
somebody didn't mean
That's right.
because I speak from the heart with that because somebody entered my life that had no like wedding or ring or any of that relationship
Right.
and stepped into stepped into a position of parental unit
Right.
and
And you got on the payphone.
And
oh
said,
no
"If you ever-"
not that one, but I'm just saying the person who stepped in as the parental unit was more of a parent
Yeah.
than my actual parent.
They say they
It
step up.
happens.
If they step up, they the mom or dad. Now there are some people who raised them since they were little. That means they have worked and have earned that title.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
completely.
Absolutely.
So guys,
I'll
we could. Oh, go ahead, Cindy.
I mean, I'll say this and be done, but I'll say that my stepmom and my godmom, just
Yeah,
for clarity and classification, they've earned every star and stripe to
that's
raise
right.
and culture and nurture
That's
Cindy
right.
Winters.
That's
Um,
right.
but also, there's a conversation that's sort of falling on the child to have the answers, which I want to just sort of talk about when
Yeah,
a kid asks, "Can I call you mommy?" Because I think I asked that to my stepmom. And she said yes, because
yeah,
I heard her daughter calling her mommy and she was around all the time. You
yeah.
know, is it a conversation between the moms and say, "Hey, Cindy just asked if it was okay to call me mom. What do you think about that?"
Right, right,
And maybe we can have a conversation if you're dealing with, a person who is in good standing
right.
with the relationship,
Absolutely.
you
I
know.
totally agree with
But
you.
I feel like sometimes parents um and conflict leave it up to the child to sort of balance those relationships rather than having better communication skills among themselves, and then making the child feel like I've got to negotiate wherever I
Yeah.
am. And so that's what I
Right.
felt like I had to do in many scenarios in my life, like just sort of appease everybody to make everyone still feel like they were important in my life, where they could have just worked that out for themselves, you guys,
Right, right, right.
and
Yeah.
just let me
Yeah.
be me.
Yeah, kids
Absolutely.
The
feel that,
kid.
and they feel that tension. They feel that there may
Totally.
be a problem, and they shouldn't have to, have to process that.
Right,
My, like I said, my
right,
kids didn't have to ask. They just did it because there were other kids in the household that was doing it. So
right.
I didn't have to. Thank God, I have
See,
to
you have
answer
somebody
that
like
question.
me where I could be your stepmom or your stepdad. It didn't matter.
As
They're
long
like,
as you
"Wait,
cook Diva B, they can
we
go over
all
there.
right."
Uncle
But
Diva.
guys, we could talk about this subject all night. Diva B, I totally agree with you. For all the step parents that have stepped up and have helped raise children, we commend you and we thank you. And so, power to the
I'll
step
give you my
parents.
likes and my hearts.
That's right. Well, guys, you know what? The conversation was so good. I didn't even realize it was 9 o'clock.
Oh gosh.
We need to go to the spotlight. Cindy.
Cindy's
Yeah.
spotlight.
Spotlight.
Cindy's
She's singing her own jingle.
spotlight. Don't worry about
Look,
it.
her theme song is longer than ours. I'm just saying.
I mean, I worked on it.
She got like 16 bars. How you saying?
Catchy, it's catchy. And when my new album comes out, y'all, in spring of 2022, just remember you heard it first.
That's right.
Here on Talk Miami.
That's right.
So I wanted to talk about the BET Soul Train Awards that happened last night. How many of y'all watched it?
I
Please
did.
leave it in the comments to see. Let me know if you watched
I was
it.
stuck in traffic.
I did for 20 minutes.
You did you for 20 minutes? Okay, well, the thing that's special about it to me was the 4th year in a row we had the besties classic, the modern day Lucy and Ethel, Tashina Arnold, and Tisha Campbell. And I just want to show a little montage right here.
Well, you know I like rubbing on the wood. Just go, Tashina, just go. Hey, come on, everybody! Damn it! Damn it! I'm gonna kill you, Tisha!
And our star judge composed the illustrious mother of the house of Evangelista, MJ.
Yes. Oh,
I just lived. TK was living. Here we go now.
That was my favorite, by the way. Pam said my favorite sentence of the whole show.
What
she
you
likes
said?
to rub on the wood. It was like my favorite sentence.
Apollo.
And that is actually an Apollo theme. I saw Miss Shonda already thinking I went to the dirty mind.
No,
I did, but don't tell her. So, but it was an Apollo thing, okay? And I used to always, when I was growing up, I used to watch Apollo and always would think, why do they rub that log? And then I found out when I was older, it was for good luck.
Yeah.
So see, when you rub on the wood, you get good luck.
Yeah.
So this was the 4th year in a row that Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell co-hosted the BET Award, BET Soul Train Awards, and they have such a great chemistry. And I just wanted to sort of pay homage to them specifically, regardless of how the show went. I think my highlight was Lucky Day. I'm a fan of Lucky Day. I like what he's got going on. Ashanti was honored as the Lady of Soul honoree this year. The skits were hilarious as always. And I think what is missed by a lot of people, maybe you all catch it, is that Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold have had a 40-year friendship, but also a 40-year working career together as a comedic duo. On top of when they started their relationship, their work relationship on Little Shop of Horrors, the movie musical back in the 80s through school. Was it School Days? No,
School Days.
She wasn't. I don't think Tashina was in School
Tashina,
Days.
Yeah.
Into
Martin.
Into Martin. And that was like a cultural, like flagstaff moment, a milestone for these two women in comedy in Black Hollywood. And so they've consistently worked for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And even despite, they're in their 50s, they have children, they have still managed to maintain this relationship and keep it funny, keep it light, improv, and bring us into their relationship on stage, which I feel is something that we needed to see women do on stage and in comedy and comedy. So big shout out to Tashina Arnold and and Tisha Campbell, who I follow them on Instagram and they are hilarious. So if I can I wish to have a career as long as theirs.
Yeah,
honey, you almost have, because you was a princess when you were little, and now you're a Disney princess now. So you almost there, boo.
That's right. You see that picture back there? That's her and Beyonce. I just want to point that out.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, you
absolutely.
noticed?
I didn't see that.
I just knew because I was like, yes, that's my friend. That's my sister. Well, thank you, Cindy. I actually love and enjoyed watching Maxwell last night.
I need to go.
Yeah, but what happened to him, honey? Because Maxwell used to be Maxwell.
I know.
And now I'm like, oh, well.
Well, what I missed? I have to look at it now.
Well, he still looks. I guess because he's just.
He does
probably
not
getting
look the
older.
same.
He's getting older, aging Diva B.
I understand, but not gracefully. Anyways.
Now wait a minute. Don't come for us, Maxwell. Come
And
for
a
him. Diva B. You go to Diva B.
You can come for me all you want, boo. You still look old.
But those songs, he still has a voice, and
Oh
I
no,
listen to
he does. He does.
every
But
word. And he
I'll
brings
never
back
forget that
memories.
video that he had. It was just from the belly up.
Ooh,
I think that was D'Angelo.
that's
Oh, it was
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo. You're right.
You know what?
See? Oh
On
well,
that
Maxwell.
note,
Dang it.
we going to the corner on that note. Dr.
Well, I wasn't ready.
Shonda, y'all better get Shonda before she just log off.
Baby, these eyes so
That's what I need on
watery.
my back ball, D'Angelo.
Okay, that could be
I'm
next
so
week.
sleepy. So good evening again, and I'm coming to you from the community corner. I am the Dr. Shonda Roberts. Tonight we'll be speaking about Mr. Trayvon Brown. Trayvon Brown is a young man that I met through community engagement and involvement. He has an organization called Build Your Own Legacy. What he does, let me read it first, because I want to just, it said, Build Your Own Legacy. Legacy is a nonprofit mentoring program that was built to motivate, uplift, and inspire youth to be the very best they can be. BYOL currently has a middle school travel basketball team in which they expose youth and help them with playing a sport that they love. So I wanted to show you all a few pictures. This is Mr. Trayvon Brown right here. He's so sweet. He loves what he does. I know he just recently graduated from Miami-Dade. He is a basketball
congrats.
coach. He has all these little people following him, and he coaches them in basketball. He's such a great mentor to them. And I wanted to make sure that we support him in our community because he does all of these things with, support of everyone helping him. So in order to get these kids to these leagues that they play in and these tournaments and these things that they do, we need to support his organization as well. So the information is at the bottom. If you want a child to participate into their basketball team, or if you want to support, make sure that you contact him. His phone number is 786-650-5820. If you want to send a little donation, big donation, the Cash App is $B as in boy, YOL, and his name is Trayvon Brown. Let's support him. Our young men are out in the community, and he's trying to do something positive, and also with other young boys and girls in that community, show them something positive. He could be out there doing anything else. So I want to make sure we support him. I'm always bumping into him at different community organizations, community events. And he's like, he calls me his mentor, but I don't know. He mentors me. You know what I mean? Even though he's younger than me, I'm so motivated and encouraged by what he does because our young men deal with so much in this world. And he's taken everything that he has to show these kids how to play basketball and to channel all of their aggression, their frustration, and to put it on the court. So let's make sure we go ahead and support Mr. Trayvon Brown. Again, 786-650-5820. Cash App $B as in boy, YOL. And that is your community corner tonight. Thank you.
I'm just so impressed by him.
I am. I love him to pieces. He's like a son to me. He's so sweet. So sweet.
Now, would he be your stepson or your regular son?
Your bonus son?
Look, neither, because I don't know his daddy and honey. Don't be trying to start nothing in my household.
Wait, did y'all hear?
Because we don't want George to spank you.
Absolutely.
Wait now, that I may like.
That's for our after show.
She gonna log off for that.
That's
Absolutely.
our after show program.
Dr. Shonda, thank you so much for taking us to the corner. And then now it's time for some motivational moments. Wait, where's my jingle?
Did I get a song?
You see how extra she is?
Yes,
she hosts tonight and she got to have a motivational moment.
Because I thought about it. I said, you know what? I shouldn't, but I always want to end the show on a positive note. Do one of you guys want to give it? I don't have to. But we're gonna always.
I can do a motivational moment.
Okay, a positive affirmation.
Drink water.
Spank your children; they'll learn their lesson. That's it.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
And Cindy said, "Drink water."
Okay,
drink your water. Mind your business.
Oh, I love this, Dr. Shonda.
You're watching your tea.
Give us a positive affirmation, Dr. Shonda.
Teach people how to treat you.
Oh, all right. Can you elaborate on that?
what you allow is what will happen.
And that's a great parenting lesson,
We're gonna
isn't
keep
it?
going. We're gonna keep going back to this spanking thing. Yes, we are.
I mean, the idea of spanking. My mind has been opened after this conversation,
Yeah.
and I think outsmarting your children because you were born on this earth first. There's nothing probably you haven't seen, particularly coming
heard.
from or heard, particularly coming from
Right.
from the older perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and just finding ways to outsmart your kids
Yeah.
is
You
probably
have
the
to
best
listen.
lesson that they could learn. You're like, oh, my mom won't play. She,
Absolutely.
I have a cat.
I just believe in that respect. Like Linda
Yeah.
really showed me to respect her. I am, much older and I don't cuss around my mom. I give her the respect that she deserved for raising me to be the woman that I am. And I believe a lot of this generation just truly have lost the respect that we used to have for parents.
Yeah, they do.
I would love
They've
to have
lost
another
it.
conversation about what appropriate punishments look like.
Okay.
And sort of, how that works.
Part
I'm not a
two.
parent, so I would
Yes.
love to know
Yet.
but I would love to know what our viewers think, how they are successful in disciplining their children outside of
Absolutely.
spanking.
Yeah. What are some other options?
We'll talk about that later. I was going to say, I don't think there's a parent that can answer that because there's so much trial and error in parenting.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I know that has happened that maybe if I thought about it and then react, that I could have done differently. And there's some things that I felt like I probably should have jacked him up. He would be doing this right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just depends on you don't know, and you don't know until you're in that situation. But like you said, we'll still talk about it, elaborate on it more.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a parent that can say this is perfect.
Right.
My method is perfect.
There
You know what I
is
mean?
no
It doesn't.
manual
There's no
to be a
manual,
perfect parent.
Yeah.
It's whatever works. And sometimes we even make mistakes. I'm a mom and I made mistakes. But the good thing, me and that accountability, at least own it and have conversation with our kids. And the main thing is apologize even when we're wrong.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing.
Even to our children. Cindy, let's say something positive. I'm gonna go around the room.
Oh yeah, drink water, mind your business.
You know what?
That part. Stay in your lane.
That part.
Stay hydrated,
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Diva
Stay to
B,
yourself. Yes.
give us something positive.
But you know what?
But we can go back to you, Shonda.
I thought I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Something positive. I don't know. If you don't like water, drink. If you don't like water, drink tea.
Diva B, Shonda, did you have something to say before I end it?
No, I did, but I can't find it, so don't worry about it.
Well, this is what I want to leave with you. You do not find the happy life, you make it. And I just want to share with you what happened to me this morning. I literally, guys, be careful with the words that you speak because what you speak is what you become. I literally left the house this morning. I didn't prepare the night before. Walked out the house, left my glasses, turned around, had to come back and get my glasses. Then I got halfway, almost on the turnpike, to realize I left my laptop. I turned around and went all the way back home and got my laptop. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, I'm having the worst morning. And from the moment that you say that, that's how you're going to feel. So I don't tell people have a great day. I tell people to make it a great day because you have the power to change the words and everything else around you. I literally had to turn on some music that I love and I had to change my attitude because if not, I was going in a sunken place and was like the rest of my day, I was like, the rest of my day is going to be messed up. You have to talk yourself out of things. And I know it's not easy, but you do have the power to feel the way that you need to be. And happiness comes from you. Don't you put no happiness on nobody else. It's not their job to make
from anybody else. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So from my mouth to your ears, I hope you receive it. Cindy, Tell us how they can reach us on social media.
Hit me with the title card, Talk Miami Show. You make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Talk Miami Talk Show. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, make sure you continue to hit the like button and jam us up with emojis and hearts and laughs and hugs. If you are watching us on YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe. And please, we know we are your best kept secret, but share with your friends about this talk show that you listen to every Monday night at 8 p.m. because they're hilarious. You never know what Diva B is gonna say. You never know what Shonda's gonna say.
Me,
And
I'm composed.
Really?
Well, you
Composed with
could you
what?
could change that. You could say you never know what Diva B is gonna say, and you never know when Shonda's gonna yawn.
Yawn. That's correct.
There you go.
And if you were listening to
You
us
were my
after our
favorite.
live cast, I'm plugging
That's
you
right.
guys. Do you mind? If you are listening to us after our live cast, you can hit us up on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, wherever you get your streaming podcasts at Talk Miami Talk Show.
Woo!
And please download us on Spotify. We need those downloads.
Yes.
Just go to
Downloads?
it, click on it, and
Absolutely.
download. We need it.
And also, when we go live, it's so great for you guys to share when we go live. And so we tap into a new audience. We're now also on Twitter, thanks to Dr. Shonda. So we have more audience. But guys, thank you so much.
3
Each
of you
week,
are on Twitter.
you know, Diva B got kicked
Twitter,
off Twitter.
Twitter
Actually,
don't, Twitter don't let
actually,
me
TK,
on.
I see that we have 27 emojis and reactions.
Woo!
Let's see how many more we can get just for S and Gs. Let's see
Absolutely.
if we can, as the audience is at home, just I want to test this thing.
Yes.
Hit us with some
Diva,
more of these
is
likes.
it likes, right?
Likes
Give us
and
some
hearts.
thumbs
Button about
up.
25 times.
Show
Or
us some love.
Or cares.
Show us the love or some hugs.
Yes.
Who cares?
So if everybody can go ahead and tap into their emojis now, give us some hearts, give us some likes,
It's an
give us
emoji-thon.
some hugs, and all of that good stuff. Who's hosting next week? Is it Dr. Shonda?
Yep, it's me.
It's your time, guys. We are going into December.
Wow.
Gotta check my calendar.
We are tapping into the
It's
end
a Christmas
of
time. It's Christmas.
2021. So
It's Christmas time. Get your
Absolutely.
gifts wrapped. Oh, I want to let y'all know something real quick. Make sure if you're gonna do Christmas that you start now because you know the supply chain and everything is all messed up.
Oh, right.
So if you don't start now, you ain't gonna have no gifts for your friends or
Oh,
your
right.
family or your stepsisters or brothers or whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
So go now.
well, everybody, we'll see you in December. Peace out.
Add it up. Okay, alright.
Bye.
I think for my episode, I want to do a game night. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
A who?
let's do it.